Hello, hello everyone, and after a long time, welcome to my another video. And today I will teach you how to do type checking. We will go through 3 examples I prepared, and we will see how we can make them better, so they won't collide with unused data, or I mean data that we are not expecting. So first off, what is why is type checking so good? Because if you take, for example, low-level language like Java, it has type checking where I will show you how they do it. I will do a comment. They do it by typing, for example, int as integer and some variable x is equal to 5. And in Lua, it's dynamically typed, so you can just go local x is equal to hello, and also you can set it to 5 and it's okay. In Java it would be a problem, and okay, you can set it to be dynamic, but usually you don't do that. So in Lua this is dynamic. In Python you can do this as well. And for example, if you have a special function that takes specific parameters and can't have any others, it will crash, for example, the server or something. So we will go to the first example as why it's so important. So we have a function add. It looks innocent, so I can do add, and let's do 5 and 7, and now add 7 and a, and I will print both these answers, and let's see what it looks like. So let's do run, and oh no, it says attempt to perform arithmetic add on number and string. What that means is we tried to add a number, which is integer, and string, which is this text. And what it means, we can add 2 strings. So for example, I can do this, and it will work now. Okay. Oh, a string is different, but this won't work because the plus is only for binary operation for numbers, and this will crash. So to make this work, I will go back to 7. Usually what I do is go up to the script on the first line and do strict, exactly like this. And what it will do, it will highlight everything wrong. So if I delete this, it does not show anything, but if I would again do A and 7, it will flash red, I mean orange, because it's only for numbers. So what we can do is that typing, when we have, for example, variable local z is equal to 5, what we can do is we have 2 solutions. We can do, I will name it the z1 and z2. So first solution is to go to the variable, and right after the name you do colon, and what it is, it's number, so we'll put number. Or you can do this with double colon and after the whole variable. I honestly prefer this to Z2. I think it looks much cleaner, and I will show you in a moment why. So also we can do this for everything. So like Z3 is a something text, and we can say it's number. It will show us that cannot cast string into number. It means that this cannot be turned into a number. So this can only be a string as a text. There are also other typings, like if I do let's say 5, 7, 9, 12, blah blah blah. This is not a number. You can see it will flash. And why? Because it's a table. So what you can do is copy exactly what's here. So you can just use curly brackets and number, and it will be like that. You can also change it to be string, so you can do S, B, A, but you have to change this to string, because if there would be a number, it should flash, I think. Mm, Never mind. It's safer to do string because we have strings in the table. So if you understand this, how you type variables, we can move to functions. And essentially, this is just a variable. So what I can do is, yeah, how the AI is helping me, it will be a number. I can't do this. This does not work. It has to be this because this double is only if this would be like equals to 5 and then this, but you can do this in function. And if we look closely, what does this return? Number plus number. What this return? It's a number, of course. So we can actually type a function. You can see it says number number and it should return a number. So I can do number, and this whole function is type checked. That's all. And you can see even the compiler says that type string cannot be converted into number. So if I first run a add with 5, 8, let's print that, and also print this. Okay, so you can see that it's typed. If you put different value than we wanted, it won't work. So this is a basic type annotation of a function. We can move to the next example, which is a bank account example. So we have bank account, it has balance of 5 and the name is John. So we have one function which checks the balance and returns bank account dot balance. I can actually also do check name dot name like this. So let's say you have a system in a roleplay game where the server checks a bunch of data and you're not sure what it will be. So let's say we have a bank account. I can't do a bank account because it's not the type. So, and also I can't do a number string. I can't do that. See, it's throwing error. So what I need to do is what's usually done is you type and the name of the type. So it's bank account. And you have balance and the type of the balance is number. And then you have the name of the person and this is string. So now what it does, it defines a custom data type for ourselves. So this will follow if we type check this, you can see it will say that it's bank account. If I remove this, however, it does not say the custom data type, and it might be confusing if you have just numbers like X and epsilon. So you can bank account type it. And now let's go for the functions. So as in the previous example, this is what it returns balance, and balance is a number. So this returns number, and bank account is essentially type of bank account. And for example, if you have multiple values and you're not sure what it will be, you can do a local bank account. You name it the same is equal to bank account, and you type it as a bank account with question mark. And what it does, question mark means that we are not sure if it's a bank account. And now we can say if not bank account, then return end. And what it does is it will check if the bank account, because in this line we are turning an unknown variable into a bank account variable. And if it does not proceed, it will return and nothing it will return. So I can do return 0 or I can do return nil. But okay, I will turn the helper. Now you can see it's saying that typecheck, which is nothing, could not be converted into number. So what I can do is also do nil, which means or. This is or function. I can do return nil. So it will return from the function. It won't execute this line, but it returns back to this and returns nothing, essentially. So now if you type check this, when you click it, this is a helper, and you can see it has now two variables we can use. It has balance and name, and we are returning the balance. So balance, and this is fully typed. Now we can go here. I can do number nil, and I can just copy this. Copy this, copy that, convert that into number. Oh yeah, this is string, my bad. So now this returns, say if I again, it's what we want to do, we want to check name. Name is a string, so we enter that, and the string or nil because we sometimes returning a nil. So now I can just do print check balance, and let's do a like 5 and like this, and print check balance actual bank account and print check name the bank account we created. And now I can also do this for the name. And now when we run this, you can see it returns a nil because we return here you return the nil or a number string. I will disable it. So now as you can see, it's first is bank account. So you have balance is 5. Is it correct? Yes. Then you have John. It checks for name. We use the bank account. What's the name? It's John. Is it John? Yes. Now we have balance 5 and 500 and 5,648. So is this a bank account valid? No. What does it return? Nil. As you can see, we wrote nil, and there it returns nil as well. So we have a functioning system. And now the third example, we have a little more complicated bank account. And as you can see, I already defined a bank which you can actually divide into sections. What I do is add comments like private variables like this and public functions. And if you have something like so no, it's still public function. So if we turn the helper on, you can see it's already here. So what we do is in every module script we do local bank or some name and it returns the bank. And we type it with the bank. As you can see with the type bank, we just name balance, this stats, get balance, we have it, add balance, right? Get name and set name. Now we have first error, so let's see. Cannot add property index to table bank. And second error, cannot add property new to table bank. So what this means, there's a unknown function. And do we see a new function here? No. So we copy the name, go here, paste it. And if you are declaring a type function, this is the basic function you can do. It has parameters and what it returns. It's exactly like this. Parameters, what it returns. Just in a like this, if you want to be specific. So now, what do we have? We have a name, which is a string. And what do we return? We return self. So self is a bank. Also, you can do it without this. You can just do a self, which is a bank, or just straight up bank like this. If you have like more returns, which is not usual, you can do it differently, but it's good to do this. Also, why it's better to have private variables is because it's always safer to get them with getters and set them with setters. As you can see, then directly modifying them from this. That's why I created these functions. So now there's also an error. Could not be converted into a bank. So now what I can do is type this function bank, and this will be typed as a bank as well. What's also fix the balance, so it's a 5. Set meta table. I think the index could be written also here. So I can delete this. And I will fix this error later. Now let's get to the other functions. So we have get balance. Do we have any parameters? Let's look at this. We have self. But when we have the colon in OOP, it means it will automatically pass the self. So we don't have to type this. But what it returns, self.balance. What's balance? Balance is a number. So this has to return a number. Now we have add balance, we have amount. Amount is a number, so this is a number. And what it returns nothing. So we can do this. This means it's a void. It does not return anything, as you can see. Next, we could actually do, this, or type amount is not equal to number, just in case. So now get name, a self.name, so we want string. And to set the name, we have a new name, which is what? It's string. So string, we return nothing. We can also copy this line. You can delete this first part, change this to the new name and string here. So if it's not a string, it will return and won't cause any trouble. You can also do this and this. And now you can see here should appear any errors. But how to fix the error with the self? It's easy because we are entering the self and this is bank and we want to convert it and return it as the bank type, and the same with the self variable. So now if you zoom out, we have a whole bank script. Of course it's pretty simple, but it's enough and it's fully typed. You don't see any errors. It just look much cleaner. And why is it useful to use? I will show you in a moment my recent. Essentially, you can see I have a huge chunk of types and huge amount of text. Type checking. Here's math type checking. You can see here it's almost like crazy. And yeah, there's the huge error part with animations because I didn't want it to do them. And it's just useful for making a bigger script. You can see that this is a 700 lines long. If we delete the comments, maybe it would be 500, but it's still a pretty big. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. In next video I might show you can you can submit your scripts and I will review them and type check them in the next video. I hope you learned something and have a good day.